I forgot I was supposed to upload a video this week, so a week ago I went to the Sonic Symphony, so I'll talk about that. This is going to be a rather low stakes kind of video. There's be some Sonic gameplay, minimal edits. Next week there'll be an actual video. Anyways though, so I went to the Sonic Symphony in Minneapolis because they were on tour, and I went with my friend Stosh, who I'm a Sonic fan, they're a casual enjoyer, and they thought it'd be fun to go, so we went. And I thought that was really good. You know, he's a big music nerd, I'm a big Sonic nerd. Together, we both had something to value about the show. I'm also a big music nerd, but he's like a professional musician. So, we get to the show, and like, the vibe is very convention-esque. Like, it kind of felt like I was at a anime con or something, or a video game convention, which is kind of fun. And we get to our seats, we're in the balcony seats, and balcony seats kind of freak me out because I had like a bad experience with them. Not a bad experience, but I was in New York once and I saw Christina Aguilera at New York City because tickets were cheap and I had nothing else to do. But people started bouncing during a song and I could feel the balcony bouncing, and I hated that because we were high up. Anyways, so we get to our seats, and they're pretty good seats. We're like in the middle. We can see the orchestra pit. We can see the screen that's going to show various Sonic gameplay and images and yada yada. And the show starts with the Sonic 1 medley, which is very wonderful. I've heard like the live stream performance of this before, and I've heard these before, but it's been a while, and it was a lot of fun to see it in person. Like hearing these songs recontextualize was fantastic. The audience was like a little bit rowdy, because like they showed like Labyrinth Zone, they showed Sonic getting his shit rocked at various points, and the audience laughed and all that. And in general, I would say it was a pretty rowdy crowd, which I guess I wasn't expecting, which is a thing at like any show, but like since this was like an orchestra, I guess I thought they'd be a bit quieter, but you know, it wasn't too distracting. What was distracting, unfortunately, was, and I feel like a dick talking about this, but so the person behind me, like right behind me, at the second song, which was a Sonic 2 medley, gave a pretty good woo. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's just some enthusiastic energy. And they kept wooing with like that same pitch and all that, and I'm afraid that I'm not conveying it the best. It was like a pretty loud and strong woo. And that kept going on for the first half of the set, the whole way through, to the point where like it definitely kind of soured that experience. And I can say that now. I wish I wasn't saying that now, but like I'm a week out, and I can remember the Sonic 1 medley just fine, and the emotions I felt past that point. All I can remember are all the woos. I hardly remember what was played. I couldn't feel any other emotions other than like the anxiety of waiting for the next woo to like really hit my ears because they were right behind me. So unfortunately that kind of sucked. And in their defense, I should have like said something earlier. There were seats we could have moved to. There was like 2 empty seats beside us, but you know, I didn't want to be that guy, and I don't know, I liked our seats. I did say something at the end of the first half, and they did seem apologetic. And we also moved 2 seats over, so the issue was resolved in the first half. I can say that based on what I can remember and what I was able to really indulge in, it was a great first opening set. Hearing these compositions was fantastic. I wish I would have been able to really soak them in, but oh well, you know, if they tour again, maybe I'll go again. But anyways, there was an intermission which started the second half of the set, which was like the rock-oriented set, which I preferred the first half. Not that I didn't have a fun time with the second half, but you know, I thought the first half was just a bit more interesting. Hearing like these songs reconstructed in a new way for me to hear was just a lot of fun. But the second half was great too. They opened with I Am All of Me, and they still had the orchestra in the background. They also brought up like just like this rock band. It wasn't Crush 40. I knew they wouldn't be there. The people they got did a great job. And you could still kind of hear the orchestra in the background, but I don't think they were pronounced enough. Sometimes you'd hear the strings. It was good though. It was good. They played I Am All Me, and then I can't remember what they followed that up with. probably something like Night of the Wind. I can't remember, but like the singer had like a lot of good energy, and the conductor also had a lot of fun energy. They were fun people to have the show with. Anyways, so they're playing all these songs. Two cuts they pulled that I wasn't expecting was they played Pumpkin Hill and Unknown from Emmy. I really was hoping for Pumpkin Hill, but I was not expecting it, and that was a lot of fun to hear. That might be a bit of a highlight for me. What isn't a highlight, because I'm a Sonic fan, and I'm complaining about things. What else is new? So, at some point they played a song from Frontiers, Break Through It All, which is a fun song. I enjoy that song, so that was great. And then they play another song right after it, Find Your Flame, which is another song from Frontiers. Both of these are like really heavy songs. And I was like, oh, okay, too. That's fun, it's cool. And then they play a third one, and I don't know. I thought that, I know it's the newest game. Oh, speaking of newest game, there's like no Sonic Superstars things, but maybe that's just a bit too new. But yeah, it was just kind of Frontiers heavy at the end, and I don't know. I would have appreciated a bit more variety. Like, they didn't play Open Your Heart. They didn't play Seaside Hill. I don't know. I just thought there were songs that they could have played in place of a couple of these Frontiers tracks. But yeah, they close up with Frontiers. We walk off the stage, then walk back on for the encore. They play Escape from the City, which is a blast, and they play Live and Learn, which I knew they would play. That was a great time. But, you know, and then that wasn't the end of the show. They got to play one more song that they usually don't play. At least that's what the singer said. I'm taking them at face value. And it was another Frontiers song. It was the ending to Frontiers. But it was nice. It was an acoustic set. They seemed really into it. So even if the cynic in me really does not care for a acoustic, ballady, schmaltzy ending to a show, their enthusiasm, they're like, this is my favorite song and it's never been performed. It won me over. It won my cold, cynical heart. So yeah, it was a great show for the most part. I will say, I think one of the coolest things was that you got to see all these people be super enthusiastic about what was going on. Like with people, there was a person in front of us who at some points could just sing, like they were singing all the words to His World, which was cool. I also don't like that song. But it was really kind of heartwarming in a really fun way to see that they were so into it, and you could see people with their Sonic plushies, and, you know, I heard like lots of specific deep cuts. I also heard Sonic nerds being like pedantic behind me, and I was like, that's exactly what I expect, because I'm also very pedantic when it comes to that. But I'm also, I don't know. I'm poking fun. It was fun, it was cool. I think a neat little bonus as well that had nothing to do with Sonic is that I had some of the World Ends With You pins on my hat. So as we were walking out from the show, somebody tapped my shoulder and they were like, oh, they were a fan too. They had a face mask with a brand from The World Ends With You on it, Jupiter the Monkey, so we just got to talk about The World Ends With You a little bit, and that was really cool. I like that as a nice little bonus to the night. And like, I was scrambling to find those pins to put on my hat because I wanted to wear something, so yeah, I had a good time. I have some complaints, both with like audience experience and maybe set list, but overall I had fun. I would be down to go again. I would probably look up the set list this time. If you're curious, I'd recommend it. I don't know what else to say. This video's done. I'll see you in a week.
I can't see a thing, but it's around so